Hello patrons. So we're out here doing another update video. Thankfully I had the foresight to take some Dayquil before coming out here, so my allergies aren't bugging me too much, although you'll probably see me scratching at my nose, trying my best not to, but it is what it is. So today I'm out here wrapping up the filming I need to be able to do the review of this all-weather Henry in 3030. As you guys probably saw from my post for you guys earlier, I do have the Midwest Industries handguard on here now. I actually had the gunsmith that works at the shop that I work at install this for me. I didn't want to mess with the magazine tube stuff at all. It's just a bigger pain on these than it is on the Marlins. But it's shooting really well. It feels really good this way, and you've probably noticed I went ahead and put a red dot on here versus the scope that I'd had on it. I had the scope on it to do some accuracy testing, which if you guys probably saw, this thing is phenomenally accurate for what it is. So I'm very happy about that, but just want to play around with the red dot on it for a little bit. Just doing some more shooting with it out here today, just getting some interesting angles and all that to throw in with the review. And then once I do that, I'm going to be doing the comparison video between this and the Marlin. Just FYI, as far as that Marlin goes, it looks like I'll be working out a deal, a trade with someone here in Oregon to get what was for a long time one of my dream guns, especially back in my days where I obsessively watched Nut and Fancy videos. If you guys were like me, you probably saw when he covered the Beretta booth in like 2012 or 2013, the Beretta ARX 100, or at the time 160. And ever since then I'd always wanted one, and I don't think they're importing them anymore. And I found one on Arms List that was for sale and has a very interesting paint job, and I think that's why he's been so desperate to trade it. So I'm going to be trading my Marlin and my old Mossberg 500, which you guys have never seen on the channel, to get that, and probably paint it right away, but that should all be fun and good. But yeah, so just letting you go that stuff is coming up. Really big fan of this rifle. Although now that they make them with the side loading gate, I can't help but be slightly disappointed that this isn't one of those, but I'll be touching more on that when I do the review. Excuse me. The other thing I'm out here doing today, let me go ahead and grab that, hopefully it's cooled off by now, is putting some rounds through the Century Arms Visca. Now that I've done the 1,000 rounds through the through the PSA K47, I want to start cranking rounds through the Visca, and so far generally so good. I'm obviously stuck to iron sights because it doesn't have the optics rail on it. I have run into one malfunction, and I have more rounds to put through it today, but I'm letting it cool down before I go too hog wild with this thing. The one malfunction I had was with the magazine that you see in here. It's a Circle 10 Bulgarian magazine, and it's still really hot. The issue I had was I was shooting while holding onto the mag and pulling the magazine in towards me, and really early in a full magazine I had the bolt get stuck in the rear, and I think what happened is between the spring pressure of the rounds in the magazine plus me pulling on the rounds, which pushed the rear end of the mag up, plus the grittiness of the action caused it to lock back. I finished the rest of the mag holding it the same way. Didn't have that same issue, so we'll see if I can get that to repeat over this first 1,000 rounds, or if that was just a weird fluke. Not a deal breaker necessarily, but definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on. But I'm running the same magazines through this that I did through that Palmetto State gun, just to have some uniformity there and have as good of an apples to apples comparison as possible. I expect that this thing will do just fine. I honestly do. I did have to do one different thing with this than I did the PSA one, and that is lubricate and grease it up, just because it comes bone dry. If you guys saw the first update I did, this thing, I ran the first 60 rounds with it bone dry, and it actually ran decently. So I didn't want to run this thing dry for the whole first 1,000 rounds, so I went ahead, did my regular cleaning and lubrication regimen that I normally do with AKs. The only difference is I normally use white lithium grease. One of my managers at my gun store said that when white lithium grease starts smoking, it's toxic. So I decided I'm going to try the Battleborn grease this go around, and we'll see if that works. I expect it will. But yeah, just letting you guys know that that's what's coming up. I'm going to be having some accessory reviews coming up as well. What I'm going to try to do is offset doing videos twice a week. If I'm doing a firearm, I only want to do one firearm review a week at most, and then early in the week will be whatever gear or accessory, and then the end of the week will be a firearm review if there's a firearm review that week, or it'll just be two, a gear review at the beginning and a gear review at the end, just to kind of space things out a little bit. Lastly, I want to cover what some of you may have saw on Instagram. Let me set this thing down. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me posting some interesting interactions that I had with a company involving a video that I uploaded over 2 years ago about how to do the cuts into the side of your frame on your Glock to be able to apply pressure down, which could theoretically help with recoil mitigation. In fact, that since that video was posted, Agency Arms patented it as the accelerator cuts. So lo and behold, the other day, I get a comment on that video from a company called Go Gun USA, and they sell what's called the gas pedal. And that video was called Gas Pedal. Just because that's what I'd heard people refer to that frame modification as. And they say, hey, just so you know, first of all, great video, but the word gas pedal is actually a trademark of Go Gun USA. We have a patent, blah, blah, blah. So please change the name of the video. And I'm like, this seems kind of dumb to me. Like, this is totally... I've never heard of this company before. I've never heard of their product before. And this is a kind of stupid video on some small channel, kind of in the YouTube backwaters, so I thought. It's got maybe 11,000 views in 2.5 years, so kind of a... I don't know. Anyway. So I respond, well, if I don't, will you take any legal action? Because I don't want to do that. I think that's I think it's kind of a frivolous claim of theirs in the first place, and B, I don't want to go through the effort of going through the hard drives, finding where that video is, going to the original thumbnail, editing the thumbnail and all that, especially when in the video I refer to it as gas pedals. Anyway, they basically, we start going back and forth, and they keep saying, you know, you don't want to deal with the legal battle, it'll cost thousands of dollars, it's not worth it, just change the name, and call me stubborn if you want. I'm not a big fan of backing down in a situation where I don't feel I'm in the wrong. So I, basically let them know, no, if you want to, go ahead and send me a cease and desist if you really feel that adamantly about it. But I don't see any wrongdoing here. I even looked up their trademark, and their trademark explicitly referred to firearm add-on accessories. That's what the trademark was for. Whereas this is a frame modification, not to mention I'm not profiting off it. I'm not offering this as a service to people. I'm not trying to take business away from them in replace of my product. I'm just simply showing how to do a frame modification, which, if anything, is a patent violation of the Agency Arms accelerator pedal, whatever I called it. So we keep going back and forth. I'm consulting with a friend of mine who's dealt with all this kind of stuff before. He's like, yeah, they don't have anything. There's no way that they could ever win in a case like this. So, screw them. And they kept threatening me, trying to strong arm me to change my mind and make the change to this. And finally I say, okay, you know what? If you want to continue this interaction, any further interaction should take place through your attorney. And they kept trying to say, no, you don't want that, just change the name, it won't be a big deal. Or, hey, you can just change the name to the gas pedal trademark thing and, drive traffic to us. And I'm like, I'm not going to drive traffic to someone who's trying to strong arm me into changing the name of this video. Anyway, when I say, hey, just talk to me through your attorney, that's when they start getting on the, well, let's see if we can't work something out. We really don't want to go that route. And they respond and say, we noticed you added a banner to the video saying that you don't offer this service commercially. You're already trying to meet us in the middle ground. Why can't we just go all the way? And I say, well, that banner is literally a part of the video. It's been there since it was uploaded. And they're like, well, can't you change the duration? I'm like, no, it's ingrained in the video. I cannot change it without taking that video down, editing it in the original editing file, and re-uploading it. And finally they just say, okay, well, we're done with you. We're just going to chalk you up as uncooperative and un-American, and, you know, stealing is against the 10 Commandments, and I hope the big guy upstairs can forgive you. I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? It was just the weirdest. It was just the weirdest thing. And John Patton from the Gun Collective saw it, and he was asking me for more information on it. And so I sent him the whole conversation thread. And I doubt that that's going to go anywhere. And in fact, I almost don't want it to, because I don't want to draw any more attention to this company, who's very clearly, desperately in need for attention. But I don't know. Anyways, just for some more background information on that for you guys. It was this whole weird fiasco. So anyway, with that said, I do apologize for having to reschedule the live stream last night. My grandparents left this morning, and so last night was the whole last get together before they left, and I would have felt bad if I had to be like, peace, I'm out of here. I got to go talk to some people online. So I appreciate your guys' willingness to let me reschedule that. So this upcoming Friday will be the live stream instead. And then the Q&A video that I need you guys' questions for. I know there's been kind of a weird thing going on with the email alerts for Patreon, so I guess in substitute for that, I'm going to say again here, I need your guys' questions for the next question and answer video, so go ahead and leave those down below. If you've asked a question previously and I haven't answered it yet, please throw that in there again, so I don't have to go back through and try to find all my different lists. I need to organize that stuff better. So I think that's kind of it. So again, as always, I really do appreciate what you guys are doing. Your Patreon contributions directly led to the case of ammo I'm currently running through that Visca. Like literally, it was like 1-for-1 transfer. Got the money from Patreon, and it was almost the exact amount to then buy a 500 round case of Barnaul 7.62x39. So I really do appreciate what you guys are doing. It definitely makes it possible for me to be able to continue doing videos. So again, I can't say enough thanks to you guys. So if there's anything you ever need from me, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me and see if I can't help you or answer any questions you have. So anyway, with all that said, as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.